Hello and welcome to the dashboard. My name is Sandeep and today's video we are going to learn about slicers in Power BI. Slicers are very important when you are making a dashboard in Power BI.
In another 10 minutes, you are going to learn how to use Slicer and create a Power BI dashboard using Slicer like this. This is the dashboard we made in our previous video. I'm going to continue on that. Today, we are going to add Slicer into this dashboard and we will see how the Slicer works in the dashboard. Before going into the Slicer, I'm going to make small changes here just to ensure the slicer changes are reflecting correctly and you see how the slicer is working. I'm going to add two simple cards here. In first card, I'm going to add the actual velocity. All right, let's add the actual velocity here. Now let's make another card. I'm simply copying the same card. And in this card, I'm going to add the total target points we have. As you know, we have 3000 points target. Now you will see when we are using the slicer how these numbers are reflecting. All right. To add this slicer in the visualization pan, you can see there are two slicers. One is the old slicer here in the middle, and there is a new slicer which they recently renamed as tile slicer. As I told earlier, the slicers are very much similar to the filter in Microsoft Excel. We will see how the old slicer and the new slicers working. Let's jump into the new slicer first. So this is the slicer I'm adding. Let's say you want to filter it using the name of the sprints. As long as you drag the sprints from the data column to the visualization pan, the sprints will be reflecting here. All right, all the sprints are reflecting, but we have the blank sprint here. And you know how to remove the blank sprint? We learned in our previous video. Just go to the filters and remove the blank from here, and your blank sprint will be removed. All right. Now, as soon as you click on any of the sprint, the data will be shown as per that sprint only. So this is the functionality of this slicer. All right. Now, as we talked about the old slicer, let's see how old slicer works. So this is the old slicer. I clicked here. Now let's drag the sprint to the field here. And you can see in the old slicer, it was appearing as a list of sprints. And you can select any of the sprint, the data will change accordingly. The functionality is same. The appearance is different in the new slicer. The old slicer work is the typical Microsoft way of selecting the list. All right. So let's learn more in the new slicer, removing this slicer. Let's go to this slicer first and format this slicer a little bit. To format the slicer, as you know, we have to go to the visualization pan and click on the format your visuals. First thing, let's see what is there in the slicer setting. In the slicer setting, you can see there is an option called single select. If you disable this, you can select more number of a sprint at same point. If there is single select is enabled, you can select only one sprint at one point. Because we have more number of sprints, let's disable the single select. We want to select more number of sprint together. Let's say sprint 1.1, 1.2 and 1.3. What was our performance? So let's select, keep it as multi-select. Shape, you can keep it as rectangle shape or you can make it the rounded rectangle. It will look like oval shape and you can do different shapes here. So let's go with the rectangle for now. That looks awesome. Go to the layout section. You can see the currently it is the grid view. It's selected by default. If you want it is in different format, like let's say we select it in single column, so it will appear in the single column. How many button you want to appear at one point of time? You can select either 3 or 4 because our one PI contains 4 sprints. So let's say let's select 4 and you can see 4 sprints are appearing here. The space between the sprints, as you wish, you can increase or decrease. All right. Call out values. Let's increase the sprint name size little bit, and if you want to change the font, you can make it Arial if you want. Let's make it Arial. The color, font color, whatever way you want, let's select it as gray maybe. Okay, and we want to, all this is done. Layout, you can select whether you want the center, middle, or in the left aligned. Let's go to the buttons. Buttons is interesting. You can select the borders or you can remove the border here. Let's go with the border first. You can fill with any color if you want. Currently it is white color. Let's go with the white color. There is, in the last, you can see the accent bar. The moment you click the accent bar, you can see in the left side, there is a small black bar is appearing. You can increase the width of that bar to, let's say, 10. It will become like this. All right. Or let's say 12. Let's let's make it 10. So it will appear like that. And if you want to change the color of that bar, let's make it green so that it looks nice. All right. Now our first slicer is ready. If you want, you can remove the title because it is self-explanatory. You can remove the title from here. All right. So our first slicer is ready. Now let's add another slicer to add the PI. Now let's drag the PI number from the data column to the field in the visualization and your PI appearing here. There is a blank PI. It's very simple. We learned now how to remove the blank PI from here. Select all, deselect the blank option in the visualization in the filter panel. Now our PI is now our PI is appearing like this. Let's format it here. Slicer setting, we have less number of PI. We can make it a single select. We are good with it. Shape the way you want. Layout, let's make it row view, how it appears in a row. Let's see. This is how it will appear if you make it as a row. All right. And maximum card shown, let's make it, let's it be 3. Overflow, let's in earlier slicer we learned how to use this continuous scroll. Let's make it paginated and see how it is working. Make it horizontal. So you can click here and it will go to the next page. All right. So this is good. Drag it to the right side. Call out values. Do you want to change the font here? Let's make it Arial black and size a little bit more. Make it gray color. All right. This looks awesome. Let's remove the title again from here. Resize a little bit and your slicer for PI is ready. Now you select any PI and it will show the data for that PI. All right. All right. Our slicers are ready, but again, it is not looking beautiful. Let's add the slicer panel to it and it will look awesome. Let's add a shape as a panel. Let's make it in this size. Let's change the color here to color. Let's say we can make it more dark blue here so that this filters looks nice. And we will move it to back so that it doesn't cover our PI. All right. We move this PI to front. Okay, our PI is appearing here. Let's remove the background from here and it will look nice. Okay, now add another panel to the left side. Insert one shape here. All right. Let's move it to the back and it appears here. All right. Let's remove the background of this as well. All right, our sprints are appearing here. Let's add title to our dashboard. Let's add our title to our dashboard. Let's make it as 24. Make it white color so that and you remove the background of this as well. So our dashboard is ready and our slicers are in place. You can select any of these slicers. You can make different color for these as well. In today's video, we learned how to use the slicer, how to format the slicers. In our next video, I'm going to explain about the list slicer. Stay tuned to my channel.
All right, this is about slicers in Power BI. In our next video, we are going to learn about some more advanced technique in slicers. If you have any questions related to Power BI, please comment in the comment box and I will make sure I will respond to your questions. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel. If you like, thanks for watching.